past few years, collective research has debunked the popular myths that a high-fiber diet lifestyle can cause unfinished housework, late dinners, and neglected family members. In fact, continuing studies show that a high-fiber diet lifestyle may significantly improve the disposition of a crafter, creating a more contented home life. Furthermore, continued exposure can develop an ability to endure meetings, waiting rooms, school functions, and sporting events without experiencing the kind of boredom it makes one want to consume lead paint. Here are just a few ways one can properly increase daily fiber intake. Visit your local yarn store or shop online. Join online fiber communities. Tour sheep or alpaca farms. Attend fiber festivals. Or listen to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Please remember to spread your fiber intake throughout the day rather than trying to get it all in one shot. Stretching and resting is important, and your body will thank you.
Hi, this is Kagi, and welcome to the High Fiber Diet. This should be my last one for 2023, so as we ring in the new year, let's look at some things we did in the past and some things moving forward. It's been a crazy Christmas week here, so yeah. First things first, I don't think I talked about it last time. I finished, and hopefully I'll be able to put up a little baby picture, or actually a picture of the romper. I don't have a picture of the baby yet, but I finished a turtle romper for a lady at work, and she had a shower, so I attended, and I whipped up this little, it was out of acrylic, just stash yarn. I think it was Homeland, and did some buttons out of Grandma's button jar, which I think everybody has Grandma's button jar, right? This was my mom's, it's now mine, and it's got oodles of buttons, and this is only one of several that I have. But I went in there and I pulled out buttons and was able to whip up that romper in an afternoon for the next day's baby shower. And when my niece saw it, she said, "Oh, you've got to get a red romper." Could not find a red romper, but she said it was very Mario-esque. So that works. So that was my number one finished object. And number two are my Christmas socks. And these I am actually not keeping. I am going to be giving to a friend. And so I have my Christmas socks, and I did different heels, cuffs, and toes. On the other one, I did it in the opposite. This is all from Frogget yarn, and I had the ball band, but I don't see it now. But it's Frogget yarn, and this was in Firefly. But being that it's Christmas, it kind of makes me and reminds me of orange cranberry sauce. So you've got the orange, you've got your cranberries, and you've got, the speckle in the middle. But I can see fireflies for the summer too. But I'm going to give them off to her as boot socks so that she can enjoy some hand knit socks also. So if you haven't seen before, but if you've been a long time watcher, you know I use Hornshaw sock blockers. So I will need that for another thing here soon. I think those are my only two finished objects for right now. I did give at Christmas the alpaca and cashmere cowl that I had done earlier in the year when I was in South Dakota. That was given as a gift. I also gave the 12 Days of Christmas socks as a gift, and a couple of the hats that I've made this last year as gifts. So those were all packaged up and given away. Finished also was my spinning. This was sombrero. I do not have a yardage yet. I pulled it off onto the ball winder. I have not made it into a skein and soaked and thwacked it yet. But this is... I haven't spun in a while, so it's kind of thick and thin, but it is a 2-ply, and that is sombrero, and I absolutely adore it. I have Reagan also on the spinning wheel. I tried to get on the spinning wheel every Sunday during Advent. I worked it out for 2 of the 4, but I'm excited about this and getting this done. Reagan is a lighter colored sheep. This one was a sombrero, was a CVM Cormo cross, and the other one I believe is a Cormo cross also, but I don't know exactly with what. I will have to look at that at a different time, but I will, when I finish that up, I will get back to you on that. So this is just beautiful and I love it, and it will go into something. I spin very few times with intentions to knit, so because I like my spinning to be my zen, and so I can just sit down at the wheel and let the trouble flow out my fingers, and I just let it get me into a relaxed state, and I'm happy then. So yeah. What am I working on? Well, I am still working on, let's see if I can show this properly. I can undo it some. The grand opening shawl. I know others have finished, but I haven't yet. So the grand opening shawl is by, I'll have to put it somewhere here, and it was off the Suburban Stitcher I'm Dreaming of a Pink Christmas Advent box. And they're not a countdown to me, they're an Advent box, 24 days of Advent. It's my little candy without having candy. And Advent's only during the time of Advent. The one in Halloween is not an Advent. The one at Lent is not an Advent. Advent is the 24 days of Advent. And yeah, I'm picky about that. So this is what I have so far. So I have done day 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I have just picked up for day 10. So day 10 is this color, and my problem is I am finding out that I'm probably not going to have enough yarn for the bigger ones. So am I going to continue on with the sweater that I'm knitting, which I really want in the 24 days colors, which is, I apologize if you hear things. I live off a street. It happens. This is the Easy Eyelet Yoke Light that I am doing in the 24 days. And I am now on, I believe, day 12 on this. So I've already finished the arms and I'm down. It gets 6 rows per day and I just need to be able to sit down and do it. I have all of the colors right back here that they're all out. I opened them all and I know what they are, but what I'm thinking for the shawl is I had an Advent last year from Southern Skeins and I didn't use it all. I very rarely used it. It was the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation. It was based on the claymation. And I used some of them for squares and I liked that, but I'm not going to do squares. At this point, I'm not going to. But I do have these pinky colors. And I think if I mix that in the ones that I need the most in, I can still use the Advent for the shorter and then use these because they're the same amount of yarn and the same weight for the bigger. And I also have this half skein of yarn that I can do the finishing colors on and mix it in as needed, and I think it will go together very well with the colors that I have here. These won't stand out too much. I've seen others not even using the pink. I want to finish the shawl, but I really want to finish the sweater. So I'm going to add in as I can on other things to make it work and just make it work. So that makes me happy. And I think that's a plan going forward. In that same Advent, I have some others that I just didn't think would work because, I mean, they're not pink based and that's supposed to be a pink based shawl for me. I mean, everyone else can do it in different colors, but these can go into something else. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing on the very pink. And I have moved this this is living right now in this bag from I Love You. I think it's the same bag it's been living in. So that is there. And that works. My friend Lori and I exchanged boxes, and I still have to send hers off, so she knows this. I was waiting for a few things to come in, and it's finally come in, so hopefully tomorrow I can get that mailed off to her. But she sent me this Stitch by Jessalou bag with squirrels and acorns, and I loves it. Yes, yes, I do. And inside this are my Christmas Eve socks. So I started these, and I do these Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve. I knit a pair of socks. I have one knit. Let's put it on the sock blocker. These are DK. These are the Opal. You can see right back there. The Opal DK that I got from Anna Knitter. And it is I do a 48 cast on, and I do a bunch of ribbing, and then I drop down to 44, so I have 11 stitches on each needle, and I do a heel turn and gusset and a rounded toe. And somebody asked me about how do I do my rounded toe, and it's pretty much a simple rounded toe. Depending on how many I need to cast down, how many I need to bind off. If I'm at like a 72 stitch, I will do like 3 rows or 3 decreases every third row. And then I will move to 2 decreases every 2 rows. And then I will move to every other row for so many times. And then I will move to every row. And that way it gets that nice rounded toe that you need. I do not have a toe box that's pointed. I have a rounded toe box. And I don't do left or right because I don't want my socks to wear in a certain pattern, and your ball and heel should not fall at the same spot each time. So I don't do ergonomically correct shaped toes, or anatomically. Is that how it works? But I have this one done. And this is in Opal Frosty Ice. And I'm loving the way the pattern's coming out. Of course, you can always see it on the side of the Opal band. You can always see what color it's going to be and how it's going to print up. But these are DK weight. And I have the second sock going. Same formula going down. And I have these on my Mindful DPNs from Knitter's Pride. And so I will finish these up before midnight on New Year's Eve. Well, going into New Year's Day. And that is my goal for this week. So I've kind of put other things on the back burner. This is what I concentrate while I'm doing for the 12 days of Christmas. And I think as projects go, I did not touch this bag here, which is my Advent from Opal. I opened them all. They're all there. I just didn't put any rows in on it this time. And yeah, that's it for this. Santa was good to me, though. I hope Santa was good to you also. In my stocking, I received a One Pot Wonder in DK sock from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. And I just thought that this exuded Christmas lights to me, and this is going to become a pair of socks. She did also send a cute little sample. Love the teal color. Don't think it goes with this one, but I love this. And this has 245 yards, 75-25 merino nylon, and it's a good sock base. So there you go. I also received 5 packages of cashmere polyester 70/30 in it's got the double skein again, just like the one that I'm doing for my ranunculus. I'm not sure what this will become, but I really like the color, and it's going to become a tee of some kind. I just don't know which tee. So I have enough for a t-shirt there. Then I also got this cute little bag for walking because I want to get back into walking. And so this will go over my arm. I'll have my yarn in the middle, and that will be great for walking. And this cat is just too cute. It reminds me of my old cat Spot. But my cats are not allowed to play with yarn. So they know better. They don't play with yarn. I don't make them toys with yarn. It's just a no. And so this will be a nice little walking bag for me doing socks or something simple. When I'm not exercise walking, I'm de-stress walking. That's for me. I mean, yeah, walking's walking, but I like that. I also received a package of 25 handmade tags. And these go up with a jute cord, and you can attach them to things. So I'm going to start using those. I have my name tags. I need to find them, but that's that. I have opened the first 4 days of the 12 Days of Christmas Rydell High Grease Advent. Well, this is after Advent. This is the 12 Days of Christmas. So I have Rydell High that I showed before. And then Rizzo. I forget what day 2 was, or day 3. And this one is Beauty School Dropout. And all of these come with cards that talk about them and everything. I know that there's a pattern that goes with this. This is from Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. And I know there's a pattern that goes with it, but I don't know that I want to make that pattern. I may use this for a different pattern. So I'm kind of looking at what I want, and I'm going with it. I'm just opening and savoring my 12 days at this point. And I still have many more to go. Other acquisitions, I got a bunch of darning needles because I can never find my darning needles. So a bunch of darning needles and needle, I don't know what to call these, I guess threaders. So it has the really big side for doing yarn, and it has a really small side for doing thinner needles. And I have a whole bunch of them because the little ones with the little wires always tend to break on me, and I don't like that. So this is a set from Benova. And I've never used them before like this, but I'm going to try them. But all of these, most of the time you can fold your yarn in half, but I find sometimes that I have a thicker yarn and I can't. I got the thicker size darning needles. I have another set that's in the other room. I have them for more thinner yarn. And so these are very thick needles. But you need both sides because I don't knit with lace weight yarn, so I don't need super fine. But I also don't normally use super bulky either, so it's more mid-weights for me. I like fingering's okay. I mean, I use it for socks and I use it for some sweaters and things like that, but for the most part, it's Sport through Aran are my go-to weights of yarn. Something non-knitty that I got is I got this mock stained glass for my office window so I can have some pretty in here. I do Tree of Life. I love Tree of Life. And a friend of mine always said, well, it looks like a uterus, or not a uterus. What is it? It looks like a placenta when it comes out. And I'm like, well, yeah, kind of. And that's a Tree of Life too. So gives birth and goes through the ancestors and everything. So that is there. Then, let's see, how am I going to go about this? Diet cranberry juice and Diet Sprite. It's been my go-to for a couple days. It just tastes refreshing. I need to get back to me. And my word for the year this year was play. Be a little bit more spontaneous, have a little bit more fun. And I did that. Amongst everything else, I think I did that. I decided to let go of things. Though I have found that during the holiday season, I've been a little bit more stressed. And part of that's because I don't have control. So I do know me, I need a little bit of control, at least planning. And on the other side of that, I need to be a little bit more methodical. I need to understand why I'm doing things and, you know, what's going on instead of just playing it by ear. I like the fun and I'm going to continue to have fun, but I also have too much crap. And I think this year I'm going to get back to basic. And I'm not talking basic like, oh, she's so basic. No, I need to get back to me, who I am, what I'm doing. Stop being overwhelmed. Boo bought me a cup that says, it's not hoarding if it's yarn. And I love it, but I'm feeling overwhelmed with all the yarn that I have. And I see these people that have the one bookcase and I'm like, yeah, you're overwhelmed. No, I have this whole room and then I have the other room almost completely filled. And I feel out of control because I don't have a listing of what I have. I have it in my head as, hey, I think I have this, but I don't know where it is. And since moving, it's really been hard. So I am moving into the new year going, okay, I have to have a method. And my method for this year is not stash down. I'm not doing that. I'm also not doing no buy. No sheep doesn't work for me. However, what I am doing is use from your stash if you can. And one of those things with use from the stash is use from my patterns that I already have. I've bought things for patterns to be made. And of course, you know, things change and my tastes change and some of them are like, yeah, but I still have patterns that I seriously want to make. My sister wants a rent shawl from Outlander. I have the Outlander knitting book. I can pull that out. I need to whip that out. I think that's going to be my New Year's cast on. Though I have a really bad problem with doing a New Year's cast on and not finishing it. I think only once in 10 years have I ever finished a New Year's cast on during the year that I started it in. I need to rip out everything that I've started that I'm not going to finish. I need to be realistic and go, yeah, no, that doesn't work for me anymore, and put it back in my stash. I need to look at my stash and say, I don't love this yarn anymore. It isn't that it's not good yarn, it's that I don't love this yarn anymore. So I need to look at that. So in saying that, and this is not that I don't love it, it's because I do. 4 of these of my Tiger Lily, I believe that's what I named these, were Tiger Lilies. 4 of these are going off to Amy of Two Sisters and Some Yarn. And these are going to be prizes for her Who Done Knit that starts on the 1st of January. She has written a mystery story, and everybody's knitting, and you don't have to have a certain thing to knit, but Tiger Lilies are poisonous, so you know, yeah, there's that. But I told her that I would send her off. This is my own hand dyed. This isn't a zebra. This is worsted to Aran weight. I love these. Each one has its, as with any hand dyed, each one has its own personality, its own colors. These were all dyed in the same pot. And just the way they're twisted up now, each one has its own personality. No 2 are the same, and if you get 2, you know, you want to alternate skeins so they don't pool, but I kind of like pooling. And I have more over here, but these 4 are going off to Amy, and I need to get them going. And if you haven't checked out Two Sisters and Some Yarn, and you haven't heard about Who Done Knit, and you can crochet, sew, whatever, but it's just Who Done Knit is what they named it. Go ahead and check that out. I might be giving a clue later. I don't know how that goes. So we will see. Also for this next year, I am getting back to my weight loss journey, which I'm down some since moving back to Michigan, but I want to get back down to where I was. And so I'm going to be going through the Bariatric Mindset, Success, and rereading this. I've read it once, and this is like a workbook journal. And this one has a lot of questions that you answer, and you read things, and you do, yeah. And then you also have the 3-month accountability, and this allows you to weekly check-ins and grocery lists and everything to really keep you on track. And this has helped me in the past, and I'm going to do it again and get back onto that. Sarge is getting ready to retire, so we need a little bit of structure. We're losing some of that structure in our life, and so we need just a little bit of that. What are you doing for this next year? Do you have a word that you use for your year? I have the little thing that you stamp out the word in a bracelet or something like that, and you can do that. I've never done it, but I have the thing to do it. I've never used it. But I like having a word that I can go back to and go, am I meeting this goal? Am I going there? Is this fitting? Like I said, I want to work more on my own patterns that are here. I've already bought them. I want to use it. So I'm not going to be spending my money in that way. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy lovely yarn, but I'm going to focus on my stash before focusing on anything else. And I'm gonna, I'll do my sister's shawl. My other sister wants a blanket. I have a brother that might be needing a couple things, those kind of things. Kids, grandkids, people like that. Sarge, I need to do his sweater. those all need to be done, and those are already in process. In fact, I have one sweater going for Sarge already. I just haven't finished it. It's in a box. I also have a blanket going. That one actually may go off to my brother-in-law, but I'm going to try not to be too much of a selfish knitter, but I also want some things for myself. And so I think this, I have what? I have the the Whitmore sweater on the needles. That's in teal. I have the ranunculus in white. I have the pretty in pink. I have, for me, I have the white. I may be ripping that one back. I'm not sure. I'm not in love with it. That was just the white vest-like pullover. That one might get ripped back. The other one is the fog. That one I love and I want. But those are my go-tos right now that I want to finish. I want to finish those before I start something else other than my sister's shawl. And my sister's shawl, I believe, will be done out of yarn that's in my stash. She wants it washable, so I've got to find something like that. She's not really worried about dryable, but she is worried about washable. And I know I want to do my bumblebee or bumbleby or whatever that shawl is with the bees on it. I really want to do that. And Boo has asked me, I guess she collects raccoons now. Never knew, found that out yesterday. And I have ordered, because it isn't the end of the year yet, I have ordered the book, Knitted Animal Scarves, Mitts, and Socks, 35 Fun and Fluffy Creatures to Knit. And this is the book with those little hedgy mitts, which I may need to make. But she wants the raccoon scarf. Let's see if I can find it. Yes. Oh, it is so adorable. And I know I have all the colors right there in my stash for this raccoon scarf. And so her birthday is coming up January 5th. I have the puppy dog sweater going for her birthday, but I may see if fairly quickly, because I think if I knit the face and I knit the tail and the feeties, I can throw the actual scarf, because it's just a long tube, I can throw that on the sock machine. And just, or not the sock machine, my Addi Turbo, I think the 22 would just do it up real quick. And, or maybe I'll use the King. I don't know. It might be 44, 20. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. But I think I can do the middle of it that way, leave the ends to where I can knit off them. Cheat. Yes, cheat. And then put the ears, and yeah, so this is coming, so I just need to know how to get it going, and I think I can get that whipped out by her birthday, so I'm hoping. I'm also hoping that I can continue on this pattern of weekly, bi-weekly, somewhere around in there, every 10 days or so, of doing podcasts, because now that I'm working from home, it seems to work out a little bit better. And I can do this during my lunch hour. Well, yeah. So, I know it has been a quick one this time. Normally they're much longer, but I think with check-ins, I may only need this amount of time. Going forward, I'll be talking about things like Finish and Frog. I'll also be getting into techniques and hopefully doing a little bit more of that. I enjoy teaching, and I just need to actually sit down and do a game plan for the podcast, because right now it's off the seat of my pants, and that's how it is. So I guess saying goodbye to 2023 and hello 2024. I'm putting no things on 2024 that I can't do right now. It's not going to be a great year. It's going to be a year, and I just want to make it through. And so take care of you and check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet. Bye-bye.